Alright, let's dive into something that just happened in Michigan that I think is a pretty big deal, and it's got me thinking about the bigger picture in politics right now. So, Democratic Representative Shri Thanedar just lost his primary to a progressive challenger, Donavan McKinney. On the surface, it might seem like just another primary race, but personally, I think this one's a bit of a game changer. What makes this really interesting is the context. It's not just about two candidates, it's about the shifting dynamics within the Democratic Party itself. First off, McKinney, a 34-year-old Democratic Socialist, ran on a platform that's pretty bold: Medicare for all, restrictions on military aid to Israel, and massive investments in clean energy and housing. From my perspective, this isn't just a local race. It's a microcosm of the broader progressive insurgency happening within the Democratic Party. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of wins aren't just about policy. They're about a generational shift in what voters, especially younger ones, are demanding from their representatives. Now, let's talk about Thander for a second. He initially ran as a progressive, but then broke with the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, last year. Here's where it gets messy. He claims he quit, but the local DSA chapter says he was expelled. Personally, I think this is a classic example of how politicians sometimes try to rebrand themselves to fit the political winds, and it doesn't always work out. Thander also got into hot water for pushing to impeach Trump without party approval, which, in my opinion, just added to the perception that he was out of step with the party's leadership. One thing that immediately stands out is Thander's campaign finances. Losing over $2 million in cryptocurrency investments? That's not just a bad financial decision, it's a PR nightmare. And then, there's the fact that he spent taxpayer money on ads that look suspiciously like campaign ads. If you take a step back and think about it, this kind of stuff just fuels voter frustration with the establishment. It's no wonder McKinney's message of being an outsider, who grew up in poverty and understands the struggles of everyday people, resonated so strongly. What this really suggests is that the Democratic Party is at a crossroads. The progressive wing, backed by figures like Bernie Sanders and Rashida Tlaib, is gaining momentum, but it's not just about ideology. It's about authenticity. McKinney's win feels like a victory for candidates who are willing to take bold stances and stick to them, rather than trying to play it safe or flip-flop based on what's politically convenient. A detail I find fascinating is how this race fits into the bigger trend of progressive challengers taking on incumbents across the country. Groups like Justice Democrats and Leaders We Deserve are backing these candidates as part of a coordinated effort to reshape the party. In my opinion, this isn't just about winning seats, it's about redefining what it means to be a Democrat in 2024 and beyond. This raises a deeper question. Can the Democratic establishment adapt to these changes, or will we see more of these insurgent victories? Personally, I think the party's leadership is going to have to start listening to these progressive voices if they want to stay relevant, especially with younger voters. So, here's my closing thought. This primary in Michigan isn't just a local story. It's a sign of where American politics might be headed. It's about authenticity, bold ideas, and the growing frustration with the status quo. Whether you're a progressive, a moderate, or somewhere in between, this race should make you think about what kind of party, and what kind of country, we're building. What do you think? Is this the future of the Democratic Party, or just a blip on the radar? Let me know in the comments below.